Alright y'all, so we're in the kitchen ready to start this test. We got the Delta 1300 and this time we have a timer right there. I know you can't see it on this phone, but I do have a secondary camera running hyperlapse, and it will keep eye on this timer as well as the actual time. What are we doing in today's video? We're figuring out if the Delta 1300 will run a fridge. Okay, that's one test. How long will it run that fridge? So this fridge is currently not plugged up to anything, and it is also on the coldest settings. So this is a fridge freezer combo. So what does that mean? That means that there's two different temperatures that it has to change, it has to run. It's not just a basic fridge, right? So it might help it, it might hurt it, right? So the idea is to see how long that this thing could run this thing before I needed to recharge it. Or, you know, if the power goes out for a day, am I good? Or am I good for an overnight outage? So the official start time is 12:20, and I do have a 90-minute timer, which means every 90 minutes I'm going to come in here and check on it. The fridge is already plugged up to the Delta, so let's go ahead and get it turned on. As you can see, that little button turns on, which means the unit's in the back. It's up to 1,000 watts, and then it kicked on over. So currently we are only reading 17, 18 watts. It's kind of bouncing back and forth, and I could easily sit here and say, oh my god, 75 hours. That's how long it will run my fridge and freezer combo. Wow. Is that truthful? So that's why we do these tests, because if I sit here and I think, wow, 75 hours, what is that, like almost, that's over 3 days, because we have 72-hour kits, which are 3-day kits. So 75 hours, that's over 3 days. Well, I know, realistically, we're not getting 3 days out of this thing. So we're going to come back, we're going to check it. We're going to see if we can see the numbers ramp up. We're going to see if they change any. And then we're going to start the timer, and every 90 minutes we're going to check on it. 90-minute timer. Official time, boom, 12:22. Alright, I'll see you guys in 90 minutes. So I haven't even stepped away yet, and we're at like 170. So again, that changed it to 7 hours. So we went from like 75 hours to 70 hours in a matter of seconds, in a matter of me putting down that timer. So, you know, that's a big difference. When you plug one of these things up and you see, oh, 75 days or 75 hours, wow. And then the realistic time is 8-ish hours. Alright, y'all. So the timer is basically sitting at the last, 50 seconds. The last minute is officially 1:52. So we've been running for 90 minutes, and we are at 86%. So I've seen these numbers go up as high as about 170 and as low as like that 17 to 20. So it says we got 7 hours left. Let's reset the timer and rerun it. So 89.52 is as close to 90 as I want to get. I don't want the timer to go off, wake up the kids. So we're going to restart it. 1:52, 1:53 in the morning. And 86%. Alright, y'all. 3:30, 3:23. 3-hour update. Right, we ran 90 minutes the first time. Reset it. 89 minutes technically the second time. What are we at? 68%. 5 hours remaining. It's 3:23. That puts us around 8 o'clock. So because my kids are sleeping, we're not going to reset the timer. So we're just going to have that, boom, that right there, keeping track. So you're going to see the time lapse. You'll see me come in here every once in a while, press a button to kind of show the screen, but we're not going to reset the timer anymore. I'll just deal with it when I wake up. Like I said, 5 hours should put us around 8-ish, maybe even 8:30, depending on where that is. Alright, y'all, so it's almost 5 a.m. 44% left, 121 watts. Apparently my phone died, so the time lapse is a little, a little broken. But apparently it's only been dead for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so that's good. 3 hours, put about 8 o'clock, so we'll see. Alright y'all, so update for the Delta 1300 and the refrigerator, the warmest setting. It did die off throughout the night, technically early this morning at 8 o'clock. So we started at about 12, so we got roughly 8 hours out of it. Not too impressed with those numbers, but at least now I know, obviously the fridge takes up a lot of energy to keep cold, and especially on the coldest setting. Now next week's video we'll be running it on the warmest setting and seeing what that does for it, and then what we're going to do is kind of combine those two videos into a discussion video and do that one not next week but the week after. Talk about this is what you could do to extend it, this is what you could do to what I would do in that situation. But yeah, 8 hours, not very impressed. But again, it was the absolute coldest setting on a fridge and a freezer combo. So we'll discuss it more in 2 weeks from now and kind of talk about why I think it did bad and what I would do to make it do better. But again, 8 hours, it is what it is. But now the Delta 1300 will run my current refrigerator for 8 hours.